Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day, thanks in a large part to our pals at the VFS School of Game Design. Thank you so much, Vancouver Film School. This rundown is dedicated to our buddy Andrew, who's been a fan of EPN for more than 15 years. We appreciate it, buddy. This rundown is all yours. One of the most famous video game characters has zeroed in on a pair of filmmakers to bring them to theaters. The live-action Mega Man movie, which has been in the works at 20th Century Fox for the past 2 years, has reportedly found its directors. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the film adaptation will be helmed by Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman, the filmmakers behind the 2010 documentary Catfish, which serves as the basis for the TV series of the same name. Joost and Schulman serve as executive producers on the show, and they've also helmed several scripted films, most notably the third and fourth Paranormal Activity movies, as well as the recent thriller Nerve. Apparently, the studio liked their profile enough to seek them out. That was a Catfish reference, by the way. Mega Man will easily be the pair's biggest undertaking yet, so hopefully they've captured all the skills they'll need in order to succeed. That was a Mega Man reference. Not a very good one, we admit. At the very least, making the film is going to be even harder than it is to play the games. The franchise is obviously loved by countless fans across the globe who are all going to have very high expectations. Mega Man has appeared in dozens of games as well as a library of manga and anime adaptations, but this will be his first live-action movie. No release window yet, but we'll have more details as they come jumping in. You'll soon be able to unleash 8-bit open-world mayhem on the Nintendo Switch. The 2012 game Retro City Rampage is coming to the new Nintendo platform. This makes it the game's 14th, yes, 14th platform so far, and creator Brian Provinciano says that it will have all the content from the previous versions, as well as new tweaks and polish, like improved swimming controls, better lock-on targeting, and more realistic enemy stomping. Retro City Rampage is sort of like a cross between Grand Theft Auto and Super Mario, giving players the chance to let loose in a vast open world with a retro 8-bit aesthetic. Since the game was inspired by classic Nintendo titles, and given that it's already been released on stationary and portable systems, it should feel right at home on the Switch. I have to admit that I'm a little biased. I appear as a playable character in the game along with the rest of the EP co-hosts, so I can't wait to see how we look on the Switch. The new version will hit the platform in the next few weeks, although a precise release date hasn't been locked down just yet. Brian is also working on his next big game, Shakedown Hawaii, which is coming to the Switch as well as the 3DS, PS4, Vita, and PC later this year. Slacker. That game is pretty similar in tone to Retro City Rampage, but has a new story and a brighter, more vibrant look inspired by the Super Nintendo rather than the original Nintendo. You can learn more about that by watching our interview with Brian on our channel. The makers of the recent Doom game have told paid DLC to go to hell. Bethesda and their subsidiary id Software have surprised everyone and made all the paid DLC for the game available for free. That means all of the paid content, including maps, characters, weapons, equipment, armor, and modes, will now be free for all players, whether you paid money for the season pass or not. The developers are doing this as a way to help promote the game and keep players interested now that it's more than a year old, although the downside is that veteran players who already paid money for the same content won't be getting a refund. Players will need to install the Hellish Games aptly named 6.66 update in order to get in. The update also includes changes to the game's progression system as well as the usual assortment of bug fixes. This isn't the last you'll be seeing of the new Doom. id Software is currently working on a virtual reality version titled Doom VFR, due for release later this year. Hollywood is snatching up another classic movie and replacing it with a modern remake. Yet another new version of the timeless science fiction tale Invasion of the Body Snatchers is in the works. This isn't the first time the film has been adapted. It's already seen 3 direct remakes, the first and arguably best one being the 1978 version, and the most recent one being released just 10 years ago. All the films tell the same basic story. Plant-like aliens slowly begin to take over our planet by replacing regular humans with sinister doppelgangers, while those left over don't realize anything is wrong until it's too late. Along with all the remakes, the core idea that your friends and family may not really be who they seem has been reused in countless other stories across the science fiction, horror, and fantasy genres. The new film is expected to use the same premise, although it's unclear what kind of tone the film will have. It's being set up at Warner Brothers, with the studio hiring The Conjuring 2 screenwriter David Leslie Johnson to pen the script. Given his previous film, they could be going for a more low-budget horror take on the material rather than a big-budget sci-fi epic. We'll have to wait and see how the new adaptation turns out. Pokemon Go is finally living up to its namesake and letting players catch them all. After months of rumors, the Pokemon Company and developer Niantic Labs have officially announced that legendary Pokemon characters are finally coming to the augmented reality game for the first time. This means you'll be able to catch the best and most powerful monsters like Zapdos, Articuno, and Lugia. Here's how it will work. This Saturday, Niantic will be holding their first annual Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago's Grant Park to celebrate the one-year anniversary of the game. All the trainers who assemble there will be able to work together in a massive raid battle to defeat and catch the legendary Pokemon that appear, and if they succeed, legendary Pokemon will begin appearing in other raid battles all over the world. This means you'll only be able to catch the legendaries by participating in raid battles with other players, so you won't be able to just find them by walking around like you can with other non-legendary characters. The fact that they're coming at all is sure to please fans. Although legendary characters like Mewtwo appeared in the original announcement trailer for the game back in 2015, they were conspicuously absent when it launched, with Niantic promising to add them eventually. Now that they're finally here, it will hopefully bring the game closer in line with the more hardcore Pokemon titles on the 3DS. Speaking of which, this November, the 3DS is getting the new Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which are expanded versions of last year's Sun and Moon. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company have also confirmed that they're making a Pokemon RPG for the Switch, which will be the first game in the main Pokemon series released on a console ever. That arrives next year. Prepare yourself for loads of big news over the coming days because the annual San Diego Comic-Con is about to begin. Yes, the biggest entertainment event in the world kicks off today and runs until Sunday. Like previous years, you can expect big panels and announcements about movies, TV shows, comics, and merchandise from the biggest names in the business, including Marvel, DC, HBO, Netflix, and pretty much everyone else. More than 130,000 people are expected to flood the tranquil streets of sunny San Diego and turn it into a bustling, BO-scented nerd mecca. You know, we'll have all the news right here on The Rundown, so make sure you stay tuned. That's it for The Rundown today. If you want to know more about game design, visit our pals at VFS.edu. We'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new episode, but in the meantime, click around and watch some of the other content that we've made, and if you like it, hit subscribe, okay?